Hi and welcome, it's Ruth here at Artful Stampin, and it's a Stampin' Sunday blog hop. It's Saturday night, I just remembered I'm meant to be doing it, so here I am in the craft room planning a little project. Actually, I've got to do two projects. So I was thinking of using some of these gorgeous papers because the theme of this month is basically just to use something that's, current, and I know these are in the online exclusives, but they are current, they are available, so I thought it would be nice to return to them and sort of show them off a bit. So my idea is to create some kind of really pretty bag, but I want to kind of design it with you and just sort of show you my thought processes. So I want to create one that's quite sort of square. I'm thinking of having it so that basically when I fold it, the gusset is in this section here, and then I'll stick these two round like so. So I'm just going to do a quick kind of measurement, and I think I'm just going to trim this down to 11.5 centimeters, which is just a bit more easier to kind of figure out the measurements for. And I'm also going to trim this down to 8 inches as well. So I've got my grid paper here, and I do recommend you use grid paper for doing stuff like this because it does make kind of visualizing and planning out a little bit easier. So I'm kind of letting you in on my thought processes here. Now I could do with finding my ruler. That would be a handy thing to find. No, have I not got it to hand? Maybe not, maybe not. Okay, never mind. All right, let's get down to it then. So if I give myself 1.5 inch gusset, that will leave me with 8, 9, 10 inches either side. So 10 divided by 2 is 5. So I'm going to have to do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, a score down here. Actually, I try and denote scores by just doing dashes like so. Then 1.5 inch gusset, so that's the gusset there. And then I've got the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 inches on that side also. So if I take off 1.5 inches from here to be my gusset, so I'm just going to do that down there like so, and then again give myself 5 inches, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and that leaves me 1.5 inches on that side. Oh, that's brilliant, that works out so well. All right, that makes life super duper easy. Right, let's get my trimmer over them. So the first thing I need to do is cut down my cardstock so it's at the correct measurement. So I'm going to get this down to 8 inches. Now, although I'm a big fan of trying to use as much of the paper as possible, I'm also a fan of the numbers just working. So we're at 11.5 inches. So you guys in the States who use letter size cardstock, yours is not as long as this. Yours is only 11. So what I would suggest is rather than having a 1.5 gusset, you have 1 inch gusset. So that will mean that you'll have to reduce that width by 7 inches to make it work, so that you just have 1 inch all the way around instead of 1.5 inches, which is what I'm doing. All right, so to do, oh no, let's do scoring. So here I'm going to score at 5 inches. The other option is that you use a piece of 12 by 12, which is doable, isn't it? You could use DSP as well. That's fine too. So I'm scoring at 5 inches and 6.5 inches to get that middle section there. And then I'm going to score at 1.5 inches here. Like so. Turn 1.5 inches here. Okay, and then while I've got my trimmer out, I'm just going to go through some of these pretty papers and decide what I want to use. And See what I've actually got left here. Oh, that's nice. Oh, there's loads of nice ones. I'm trying to find two that are the same though. I have used a few of these, so... Oh, there we go, there's two. Those are nice. Alright, so I want to put paper on either side. So if I take this down to 4 3/4. Yeah, if I take that down to 4 3/4, that actually leaves me a good amount to stick on the sides as well. Ooh, love it when a plan comes together. So 4 3/4 by 4 3/4. And then I'm going to cut this long one also to 4 3/4. Alright, so now going to sort my edges out, or sorry, burnish my, what's it called? Score marks. Sorry, can you tell it's late on a Saturday night? It's not really late, but my sister is staying this weekend, and I'm having to share a bed with her because we don't have that many guests. We don't have a guest room in our current house, so we're kind of having to make do. So we went to bed late. Well, I went to bed late, got up early, and so I ended up having a little snoozes that evening, sort of around 6 o'clock. And I'm still a little bit tired. Okay, so let's cut into this, and then cut like so. And then, yeah, and around 8:30, I realised that, oh my goodness, I'm meant to be doing a blog hop. And I nearly skipped it. I nearly thought, oh, it'll be fine. I'll just have to bow out for this month. And then I thought, well, I was thinking of doing a live on Saturday night. So instead of doing a live on Saturday night, I'll record myself, and you guys can watch it on Sunday. All right, so you can sort of see it starting to come together, can't you? So that's going to go in like that. And this is going to be like a really cute little gift bag box type thing. All right. We're not going to be pushing in the sides like we sometimes do on these kinds of creations. Not going to do that. Okay. Let's get these stuck down. Right, here we go. So as I said, this paper is available as an online exclusive. You won't see it in any of the catalogues because it's an online exclusive, as it is, as I said. So what you need to do is go to Stampin' Up. If you're unsure, if you don't remember the ending of your country's internet address, URL, just put .com, and you've got an option then to find your country. So, but if you're in the UK, it's stampinup.uk. Oh, I think I've come to the end of a glue. Nearly. What a momentous occasion. Right, let's stick that on there. And then I may as well put these on while I'm here. And then I think I may, oh, let's change it up. That'll be pretty. Now, I'm going to do some pretty decorating on this because I've just realised that although it's current, it is about to leave us the daisy punch. And I am going to miss the daisy punch terribly. So I thought it would be nice to revisit the daisy punch and just remind you what a fantastic little punch it is if you haven't got it already. And if you have got it already, then fantastic, because I think it's one of the really useful flower punches to have in your collection. And I'm going to have to get a new glue in a minute because this is just getting a bit silly now. Okay, so just making sure that it lines up all along here. Right, so before I start sticking decorations on here, I want to make sure that I've punched holes. Oop, didn't mean to do that. Oops. I want to punch some holes to put my handles. So I'm just going to hold that together. I've got my crocodile here. So just go there and just kind of eyeballing it. There and there. Good, good. And then I've got my daisy punch ready, but I've also got this lovely bow punch, which I thought would be nice to cut some leaves from. No, that way. And I am being super frugal, trying to get as much out of this as possible. Sometimes with these detailed punches, they do get jammed as you're trying to pull the paper out. But don't panic. If that happens, just keep punching and eventually it will all come out. So don't worry if that happens to you. Okay, and yes, I know I'm making a nice fine mess on my table, but that's okay. It's very easy for me then to pick out the pieces that I actually want to be keeping. So there we go. There, 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 and there. All right. I'm just going to brush those aside. And I'll just have a look to see if there's any other. Oh, that's quite nice as well. This is a good way of using up some of my scraps, because I think I have done a couple of cards using these papers. So I think this whole paper collection is really quite ethereal. Oh, why am I so high up? I'll come down a bit lower. There we go. All right. So now I want some really pretty pinky or such like daisies. Ooh, that's a really lovely. Now I know if you don't have the daisy punch, the other option is actually just to cut out some flowers. That would be absolutely doable. But ooh, this is pretty as well. Oh, so many nice options. What's on the back of there? Oh, yellows. All right, well, let's see how we go. What's on the back of that one? Ooh, all right. So I think we can create some really pretty daisies with this. Let's go here. So 1, 2, 3, and I'm always impressed how well this punch cuts, considering that it's, you know, it's quite detailed. It's a very crisp punch. Now, have I already cut into one of these? I was sure that I had done, because I was sure I'd made some cards out of this. Oh well. Oh well. I'm going to go for it. 1, 2, 3. Right, so we're going to have 3 flowers of variegating colours. And I've got my nice new Tombow here. So I'll flip these over so I can see what's happening. So those are the palest ones. And then these, well, yeah, they're not as different as I thought they were going to be, but that's fine. We'll have these on the bottom then. So, ooh, whoa, too much glue. Okay, so if that happens, you can use another. You can kind of spread the love around of these. And I meant to do a bit of shaping on them, but I forgot. So I'm going to have to do that afterwards. Right. There. Still too much glue on that one, so spread that over here. Yep. There we go. Right, tiny amount this time, Ruth. There we go. On there. Just give it a moment to dry. And that one on there. So we're going to give those a moment to dry, and then we'll do a bit of curling, you know. Now, let's stick this together. So that's going to pop up like that. I'm going to put a little bit of glue there and there. Then bring these sides up to meet it, like so. Yep. And bring that one together, like so. And then this is going to come around to meet this one now. Now I think if I was to do this again, I would have made sure I didn't cut a wedge into there. I mean, it's not super obvious, but I didn't need to cut that wedge. I could have kept this line a bit straighter, but there we go. I didn't think that far ahead. There we go, that works. This is where your bone folder does come in handy, because you can just push that inside like so. Give that a little bit of a push down just to make sure it's all stuck. Okay, there you have a nice cute little gift bag, stroke box. Put a little tiny bit more glue just in there. Hold that down. Alright, so to decorate then. Oh, now, shall I put some ribbon on first? Oh, I'm thinking yes. So I love combining lots of ribbons, so I'm going to go for it and put loads of different ones in here. So I've got the white seam binding ribbon that I think is leaving us. Actually, it is leaving us, because I mentioned it the other day to somebody and they said, it's going. So that's going to go like that, through there. So that's going to create a handle. No, do I want it to do that? Maybe I don't actually. No, maybe I want it to do that. Okay, I've got choices. Or I could have it do that. That would be cute. Okay, let's try that then. Not thought of doing it that way. So on this end, so this is the white seam binding ribbon, pool party, and I think this is soft seafoam ribbon that you may have to forgive me that I think it may have retired. So I'm going to try and make a really big knot so it won't come through through that hole there. There we go. And then just have this as a cute handle that can then just fall down to the side when it's not being used, and then can be held like so. All right, and I don't mind that it's twisted a little bit. I actually quite like it. I think I want it to twist a bit. Yeah, let's have it twist. Right, so then I'm going to cut some of this. And again, so what I'm doing is tying a knot, but before I'm pulling it tight, I'm twisting the end around and about 3 times, so that I end up with a thicker knot. It's a bit similar to like when you do French knots on embroidery, really. Okay. Oh, that's so cute. I love it. It just goes with the paper so prettily, doesn't it? I love it. So I'm just going to do that all again. You know what? I'm going to skip this bit and come back. All right, all knotted. So I did have to loosen one of them just to make sure they were both equal, but it's all good. So there we go. So that's going to be my little handles. So now I can just do a little bit of shaping with my flowers that I did earlier. So there's a few ways that you can do this, but one of them is just to use a bone folder and basically get the bone folder underneath the flowers and then roll it over your thumb like so. And so you end up with those nice kind of little curls like so in there. And oh no, actually I wanted it. Oh, I don't know, I was going to use it that way round, but I actually quite like it with the variegation. Oh well, we'll go with it. Happy little accident. I hadn't planned it to look that way, but I actually quite like it, because sometimes when you don't plan things, they look a little bit more freer. So. Oh, cute. Right, so my original idea was to have like a little row of flowers across the top, but because I've now done that ribbon, I'm not sure that is going to be the best idea. So maybe just a little cluster in the centre would be better, and then just have some leaves kind of like coming out from the middle. Let's do that then. So put a bit of glue on there, bit of glue there, bit of glue on there. Now as I'm sticking this down, I can feel it's going down underneath my hand, so I'm just going to pop the punch under there so I've got something to kind of push down onto. There we go. The punch is nice and firm to be able to do that too. Right, where's my dimensionals? Bear with. Right, found them. So, to make it easier, what I like to do is pop dimensionals on the back of the, didn't come away with me, underneath these leaves here, especially the leaves that are at the bottom of this punchy, because they don't show up. So there we go, that can be stuck there. And do the same. Oh, actually, quite like that side. I'm going to flip that one over. I like the mixture of this kind of like sagey green with the yellow. Makes it look fun. That one. And as you can see, I'm tearing off the stalks because I do not need them super long, because I'm trying to fit them in underneath the flowers. So just pop these up a bit and get that under there. And fluff these up a little bit. And then we've also got these little ones to pop in. again, taking the stalks off because I don't always need them. Ooh, a bit too much there. Right, I need to put some kind of nice embellishments on here. Oh, got a new packet of pearls. What else have I got here? No, I'm going to go with the pearls. Pearls are just so classic and pretty, aren't they? And because these pearls are probably not big enough really to fill a whole flower, I'm going to stick 3 on. So get a bit more of a kind of focal point there by doing that. Right, so this is project number 1, the bag, and I need to work on a second project. So I'm thinking what I might do is use up all the wee little scraps that I've created and see if I can create a pretty card using the scraps. Well, the cut-offs, the offcuts, the not yet card bits. There we go. Actually, that does make a nice little. If you're going to give somebody a punch, that would fit rather well, wouldn't it? So there we go. I love all these ribbons and like the combination of having the three different colours all together. Just makes it look so pretty. Love that. Okay, so set that to the side then. Let's see what little bits and pieces I've got left over. So I have got a few leaves, and I can always punch a few more if I need to. Got these 2 pieces of paper. Got my punch at hand as well, so I might make a nice card with that. I love that. That would be lovely as a background. And then got some other little pieces here. So, oh, actually, I've got these stitched. What are they called? I'm forgetting the name of this. Stylish shape stars. So I've got squares and circles. I'm wondering if it'd be nice to cut out something from those. What have I got? I think I might just do that. That'll fit on there. Right, great. I'll do that and come back. Alright, so I've cut a card base that's 5 3/4 by 5 3/4 square. Then I've cut my piece of paper to fit it, which is about, yeah, an 1/8 shorter either way. I managed to pick up the wrong glue then. So let's get that stuck down. And I'm going to use a tried and tested card structure or card formula that I've done many times before, where I have a kind of circular focal point that goes in the middle, and then I have leaves or flowers and leaves that come away from that central point. So I may not have them going all the way around, but I will certainly have some leaves and flowers coming away from that central position. Now, because I cut that card base, I have some spare cardstock here, and I thought it would be nice to use that up while I've got it, and I can use that to cut some more leaves and flowers. So let's do that. Oh, look, there's a piece of paper that was stuck in it from earlier. And there we go, it gets stuck again, but that's fine, not going to panic, just going to punch my way out. So the reason I'm flipping the paper is to try and get a bit more out of it, because this little sprig is a bit smaller. So there we go. Right, that's destined for the scrap pile. So we're going to have, I think I'm going to have some leaves sort of coming from top left and bottom right. So I'm just going to start sticking those on, because it doesn't have to be particularly pretty underneath here with all this glue. So I'm just going to get those stuck on. So then I'm going to bring my circle back just to give myself an idea of where I'm heading. Well, I can see I've got a little bit too much glue showing there, so let's see if I can use that up a little bit. Oh, now the other thing I thought I could add is some ribbon. So I've got some of that ribbon that I used earlier, so I'm just going to, oh, I know what, let's do two. So I've got the Pool Party sheer and the white seam binding. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to tie a bow, like so. And cut that off. Then I'm going to pull those together. I think I'm going to stick that in that section there, but I'm going to use a whole heap of glue dots to do that, to make sure it does not move. So get some glue dots on here. Now if I had my heat tool ready and primed, I would probably use that instead, but in the absence of a heat gun, or a glue gun, sorry I should say, I'm just going to use the sticky dots. And this is going to go over the top anyway, so that's going to hide that section there. Alright, so the next layer to put on are some of these little cute little sprigs, and again the glue's still sticky, so I can keep adding that point there, kind of using my nail to push everything down. If you don't have a nail, you can use, I don't know, like a take your pick tool, you can use your bone folder, use all kinds of things. So I've got space, got some space around here, so put a couple of sprigs. Oh, no, stay. On there. Behave. And there. And there. All right. And then I'm going to pretty much plaster this whole area now with, I'm going to use some of these, some dimensionals. So kind of going over some of the sprig that I've got here, just to make sure that they stick down. And also because this is quite lumpy, I want this additional bit of dimension on here now. So let's have a look. Oh, nice. I'll just pull that out a little bit. Oops. Now everything is starting to get very sticky. My fingers are sticky, the paper's sticky, but it'll be fine. Yeah, let's lift you. Oh no, just take that one. Have you stick out a little bit more. Okay. Right, I'm just going to stick that over the top of there. Oh, that's so cute. Oh, that's stuck down. Right, I've just got to move that one out of the way, and then I can stick it all down. If you wanted this to be extra sturdy, this portion here, you could perhaps cut another piece out of cardstock and back it first. Because I'm in a hurry with this video, I'm just going to kind of get on with it really. So I've got this additional piece to stick on the top, and then I did cut out using the other die, little label die that's in that set, one of those. And now we've got to cut out some flowers. So time to do some more daisies. So I'll cut those out and come back to you. So I decided to cut out a couple of little flowers from that beautiful paper because it's just so pretty. So I think I'm going to make that my little kind of focal point down in this corner here. And I'm just going to give these petals a little bit of a shape. Again, using the bone folder and that kind of thumb and finger rolling technique. So got a little bit of a curl on that now. And then I cut out a smaller one from another piece of the paper, another one of the papers, because I thought that that would just add an extra little bit of dimension to that section there. Then I've cut sort of more yellowish daisies because I thought that would be a nice contrast. Oh, and I just managed to secure myself a glue dot by accident, so I'll use that. May as well. I obviously wanted to join the party, so we'll have you in there. I'm going to put the glue dots to one side, make sure that doesn't happen again. All right, a tiny bit of glue on there. Let's get that on. So let's think about. I want these kind of quite tucked under because I don't actually have a lot of space for these. So I'm just going to stick my circle down, like so. Give that a bit of a push, and think about where I'm going to put my daisies. I guess I could have one up there, or I wonder if I cut this in half. Those underneath. That one needs re-sticking because I think that was the one that was the glue dotted one, so it's not super secure. All right, let's get some dimensionals on this then. All right, so I do want that one down there. I feel like I'm running out of places to put a daisy because because they're such a similar size. They're not really happy bedfellows, but we'll make it work. So I think it goes without saying, this is a very textured card. So if you were to give this to somebody, you probably would need to put it, if you're going to send it to somebody, sorry, I know postage rates are being a bit weird at the moment, and you do have to obviously put a little bit more postage on cards that are 3D. So. Pop that under there. Oh, let's roll these little petals a little bit before they go under there. All right, that's really cute. And then we've still got this little tag to go on, so that fits beautifully there. Just need to go and find some words to stamp on there. So I'm going to use my basic white ink, and I've got a little birthday wishes from the stamp set Sending Smiles. Now with the white ink you have to tap a few times to make sure it's really well coated. And then aim. Oh, that doesn't seem to be showing up too well. You know what I might just do? Because I know that ink is still wet, I'm just going to put a little bit of white embossing powder over the top of it. Where is it? Here. So there we go. That looks a little bit better. Now I heat embossed the white. So I'm going to be sticking that down, I think with some dimensionals, just to give it another bit of dimension. You know, I think if you're going to go for it, you may as well go for it. Get lots of dimension in there. And these are just wanting to stick to my fingers. So anyway, thank you so much for joining me on this video. I hope there's some little tips and tricks that you've picked up along the way that you can use in your card making. And also I hope that I've just broken down how to create quite an ornate card in a simple way. So there you have it, birthday card and a cute little, kind of a shabby esque, but sort of very romantic looking. Oh look, and I've got a little bit of glue down there, that's going to have to come off. Yeah, very romantic looking kind of bag and card. There we go. So yes, excuse my little blunders and bits and pieces. As I said, this is a little bit later on a Saturday for me. So there you have it. Right, please do go and check out the blog post, because all the other hoppers in this hop will be listed in that blog post, and you can go and have a nice peruse and see what they've been up to. So take care for now, and I'll also list the products I used in the blog post too. Take care. Bye.